Goodness gracious, it's bright out here today. What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. I just put the little one down for a nap, and on today's agenda, we're gonna repaint the front door. So we haven't been in this house not even 2 years yet, and the front door just looks rough. It's black, as you can see, but around the door handle, around all the windows, it's just chipping everywhere. And Jamie wants it red. So we're gonna take this door out, we're gonna set it up out here, we're gonna paint it red, and we're gonna put it back together. And I'm just gonna show you how I do it. A lot of you probably will be like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. No kidding, that's how you do it. But I'm sure there's some of you that don't know how to do it and want to see a video for a little confidence boost. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's my channel. I get to do what I want and put out what I want on here. So let's repaint. Let's talk about what you need for this, right? You don't need a whole arsenal of tools, but guess what? Just like any other DIY project, you need more than you think you do. So to start it off, sawhorses or something to put the door on. You could use like chairs or just really a trash can. You could lay it on there. But then I got the moving blanket so I don't scratch the interior side of the door. Just make sure you got something there to protect the finish that you're not repainting. I'm going to be brushing and rolling this door, so I'm not spraying it. So I've got a little wall and trim brush and a roller. The brush will just be for the inner portions where I'm getting close to the glass, and the majority of it I'll just roll. You need your paint. We are going to be using Valspar Defense 1-coat paint and primer exterior in a satin finish. I'm not a professional painter, so don't get on me if I say or do something that's not perfectly correct. I'm not really worried about it, and you shouldn't either. I'm gonna sand this a little bit because we have some spaces that are chipping out. I don't really think that this is absolutely necessary, but it will help the new coat of paint bind to the old one just by roughing it up a little bit. To get the door off the hinges, you can use like a punch, like a nail punch here. That's what I'm gonna use because I have it. But if you don't, you can just use a screwdriver, and obviously you're going to need a screwdriver to get like your deadbolt and your knobs off. So mine is their Phillips screw, so I've got a Phillips screwdriver and a hammer, right, to knock it up out of there. I'm using tape. I'm not using paper or plastic. I don't think that there's a need to do that because I'm not spraying it. I'm brushing and rolling. And then the last little specialty thing is just a sharp blade. I've got an X-Acto knife. You could just use a razor blade or anything like that, but that's just going to allow me to get my corners nice and tight when I put the tape on the glass. So that way the inner corners don't look sloppy. They'll look really nice. So yeah, I think that's it. Let's go get the door up the hinges. If you've got 2 people for this part, use 2 people. It'll be easier. I'm going to do it by myself, and hopefully I don't make too much noise and wake my daughter up. But let's go do that. So if you didn't know, again, I don't know what level of knowledge you have if you're watching this video, so I'm just going to assume that you got 0. This is how you take the door off. There's pins in each of the hinges, and you go from the bottom and tap that pin up, take it out. So I'm going to go from top to bottom, and then I'll take this door outside. So the last one that you take out, whichever one it might be, it's going to be a little bit tougher because there's more pressure. So I just used the claw of the hammer and just kind of hooked it once I got it out. So it's out. I'm going to take it outside now. There you have it. So I am now going to remove the hinges themselves so I don't get paint on those. Most professional painters don't give a damn and they just paint over them, and that looks terrible. So take your freaking hinges off, take the knobs, the deadbolt off, and yeah, your screws are going to be on the interior, obviously. I say obviously, but some of y'all scare me, not gonna lie. So all right, I'm gonna get that hardware off. I don't need to show that, right? I'm just gonna use a screwdriver. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, baby. That's all there is to it. I'll get this off and we'll get it sanded and prepped for paint. And just as a side note, if you have an impact driver or a drill and you decide to use a screwdriver instead, you're an idiot. So the screwdriver is the essential tool, but you always want to work smarter, not harder. Smarter, not harder, kid. I know sanding sucks, painting sucks too, so actually this whole project sucks. But take your time when you're sanding, because if you just rush it and you don't do it right and you leave a bunch of crap, you're gonna try to be touching that stuff up and it's just gonna chip. If there's loose stuff down here already, you gotta get rid of it, because if you just put new paint on it, it's gonna peel right up. And so I'm realizing I have a lot more sanding to do than I initially thought, but I gotta just stick it out and do it. The main portion of the door is fine, but around this glass where it's chipping and kind of bubbling in a few spots, I gotta take my time. And I got sunflower seeds in my mouth if you're wondering why I sound funny. I stopped dipping last October, so sunflower seeds and fake stuff get me through it. So if you've been thinking about quitting yourself or any bad habit that you might have, just know that you can do it, because other people can do it. And I remind myself of that when I'm doing mundane tasks like this, because that's where the cravings are the hardest. I digress. All right, so come in close for this one. This is why you want a razor blade or an X-Acto knife. When you're laying your tape out on your glass, make it long. Take your fingernail, or if you don't have fingernails, use a card or something, and just put a little crease right there. Then take your sharp blade. I like to start in the middle. A little bit of pressure. That way. All the way down into the corner. You're not going to hurt your glass. Apply a little pressure. Then you get clean lines. And if the tape, while you're taking the tape off, when you leave it long, it'll expose that. So I need to do more sanding. But it looks good visually. But if this tape can just lift up this paint like it's doing, I need to go back and do more. And that's what I'll do, because the preparation will make this project look great in the end. But if you half-ass your prep, the door's gonna look half-ass. So take your time. So I was able to get it prepped and sanded and taped before she woke up from her nap. You wanna say hello to everybody? You wanna show everybody your sunglasses real quick? Put them on. Oh, cool, dude. All right. You gonna watch me paint this door? All right. Say, let's paint. Let's paint. So I got one good coat on it. It's looking pretty good. The boss over here is giving me a hard time. Hey, you want to say, hope you like the door, Mama? Hope you like the door, Mama. All right. You gonna help me put some paint on when we let it, after we let it dry, and do some more coats? Ugh. Maybe Dada should learn how to talk, huh? Holy smokes. All right. Say, we'll check in when it's done. Say, we'll check back in when it's done. So just as a reminder to this channel, not only do we try to bring some informational or educational content when we can, but these are also like home videos for us. So I'm gonna continue to show family, the animals, all that kind of stuff in our videos, because that's just what we want to do over here, because it's already been super cool looking back from when I started the YouTube channel a couple of years ago and just seeing the difference and the change in things. So if you've been thinking about making your own YouTube channel, just for that reason alone, make one just for your own family, so everyone can kind of keep up with what you're doing. But I'm gonna let that dry for 30-40 minutes, and then I'll do some touch-up sanding, because there's a few places where I globbed a little bit too much on with the brush. I ended up rolling most of it, so we'll sand that down a little bit before we put on the finishing touches, but it's coming along. Just getting this inner edge one more time with the brush, and then I'm gonna go back with the roller to finish up everything and get rid of any brush marks that I might have. And we'll let it dry and it'll be a wrap. So there it is. Nothing to it. Looks really, really good. When I took the tape off of the inside, I did have a little bit of peeling, so I just went back and did a little touch up. And then, in case you weren't aware, if you get paint on the glass, it's super easy to get off with a razor blade. It comes right off, and you don't scratch the glass, as long as you're not like digging into it. So yeah, there you have it. How to paint a door. Pretty easy, straightforward. And while I was at it, like most DIY projects go, I ended up painting below the door frame itself, and then the risers on the stairs, just to make it look nicer, because they were super reddish brown from all of our clay. Since we moved in, we've abused this front little landing porch here. So there you have it. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not subbed to the channel already, please do so. Hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss when we drop another video. The next one, I have a feeling, is going to occur right on the inside of this door, because I'll be building like one of those hall bench things for our shoes and jackets and stuff, and that's going to go right there, and it's going to look built in. It's going to be nice, so that will be coming out soon. So if that interests you, make sure you sub to the channel. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.